Happy November, everyone. It's the triumphant return of Speak of the Devils. I'm Maddie Shipka, and this is brought to you by the Jack-O-Lantern Preservation Committee of America. Don't let those smiles rot away after Halloween. We hope you've adjusted to the new school year smoothly and that you checked out Summer and Halloween Special these past few months. They were blasted on the BCAT airwaves daily. You have no excuse. But now we're back in full swing, and before you take the plunge and cast your vote for our next president, we've got plenty of quality programming for you to enjoy. We've got some reviews for our favorite TV shows that we're watching while we're supposed to be doing our homework. We've got a hilarious political sketch to contrast the tone of this current election, a performance from BHS Chorus, and best of all, our special guest this evening, Miss Julie Weller, the new chorus director at Burlington High. Miss Weller, thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Maddie. It's a pleasure to be here.
So how did you get started with music and teaching?
Well, as a kid, I just sort of gravitated towards music. I loved everything musical, and I especially loved to sing. And so all through my elementary school, middle school, high school, I always participated in the chorus and anything else I could do musically. And so I think it was a natural progression for me to go into music in college. And I graduated from the Oberlin Conservatory, it's in Ohio, with a degree in music education, vocal emphasis. And then the rest is history. I started, my first job was actually here in Burlington at Fox Hill School, teaching elementary music, and did a few years in Oregon, lived there for the past 9 years, and now I'm back here in Burlington.
So do you play any musical instruments?
I do, yes. I play piano and guitar and a little bit of violin as well, but certainly my main musical instrument that I'm most comfortable with is voice.
So what inspired you to get into music as a kid?
Well, again, I think it was just a love for it myself. How I felt that I wanted to express myself within the world was always musical. It's kind of ironic, though, when I was in high school thinking about what I wanted to do for a career, music wasn't the first thing on my mind. I loved science, and so when I applied to colleges, I applied to all science departments, engineering schools, and I was planning to be a chemical engineer. But then I was taking voice lessons at the time. And I remember right at the beginning of my senior year, my voice teacher saying, you should just apply to one music school and see what happens. And I applied to the Oberlin Conservatory because I was also applying to their science department at Oberlin College. And I got in. And so literally in, just about one day, I had 2 acceptance letters in my hands and had to figure out, did I want to do science or music? And I chose music and never looked back.
So how was your first job teaching at Fox Hill?
Oh, it was wonderful. I loved teaching at Fox Hill. That was way back in the 90s, so probably nobody at this point would remember me back then, but the people were so friendly. The students were wonderful students to work with. The families were very supportive, and it was just a great way to start a career.
Do you have a favorite artist or genre of music?
I get that question a lot because I am a musician, of course, but and I really can't put my finger on one favorite. I'll listen to, on any given day, in the morning I might listen to Johann Sebastian Bach, and then by the evening I'm listening to Queen Latifah. So it's something completely different, and so it depends on my mood. I think I have a little bit of a soft spot for good singer-songwriters. So people like James Taylor, I like Sting, or John Mayer is kind of another favorite I have recently. So,
what brought you to Burlington High School?
Well, for the past 9 years, as I said, I've been actually living on the West Coast in Southern Oregon, but I am originally here from Massachusetts, and I have a 5-year-old son who's ready to start school, or he's currently in here, the public schools in Burlington, and we decided that we wanted to move from Oregon to Massachusetts because the public schools are so strong here in this state. And we were just looking around for great communities, and Burlington, this job was open, and they have a great early education program here, housed at the high school in their preschool program, and so we ended up here, and we love it.
Does your son share the same musical love that you do?
He does, although he seems to have a tendency to like instrumental music more. His dream right now is to be in the marching band.
How have your first few months been here?
Oh, I've really enjoyed it. I think that I'm finding the students are so bright and engaged and motivated, and I'm throwing some challenges at them, and they're just really embracing all of those challenges. And again, the parents too, very supportive with meeting all the needs of the department. The community in general here in Burlington is so supportive of the arts, and so I'm very fortunate to be here.
So what's the BHS chorus up to right now?
Well, we've been really busy actually. Despite being still relatively early in the year, we have a lot on our plate. We're right now preparing for our annual gala concert, which will be Sunday, November 6th. And we're performing about 6 songs for the gala concert. And it's a great fundraiser the Music Boosters put on every year. And this year we'll feature the chorus, especially because we have some trips planned that we're fundraising for. So most notably, my select singers this year in April will travel to New York City and will perform on the stage at Carnegie Hall, which will be a great honor. Other than that, you know, as soon as the gala's over, so starting next week, we're going to just dive into the holidays and start our holiday performance preparations.
Awesome. So we actually have exclusive footage of the chorus rehearsing. So let's go to that. Thank you for stopping by, and we'll check in with you and the chorus later on in the show. Up next, we have a sketch with a unique perspective on the aesthetics of the political debates. Here's 2 candidates, 1 podium. Roll it!
Hello, children. How are you doing today?
Well, Nerf gun control is very unnecessary because Nerf guns are fun at parties. You know what kind of parties? Pajama parties. That will be every day.
So you're saying that everyone should just have a gun, like a Nerf gun, that they could hurt someone?
A Nerf gun, yes.
Well, if
Nerf gun darts.
Excuse me, I was talking. If I don't have my protective eyeglasswear on while I'm using said Nerf gun, I could poke someone's eye out, and they may sue. And then, all of a sudden, bye-bye to your home that you had your pajama party in.
I plan on capturing them all and threatening them to never try to nuke us or bomb us or any of that throughout the whole world, and then just let them be.
We need to invade Iran. That's all I gotta say.
Why Iran? That's just gonna cause another war.
Because the Iran people are evil, and they're trying to hurt us. Okay? That's why.
But we never done anything to them. We just randomly decided to have a war with them.
Well, that's you know, I guess, I don't know. Next question, please.
Okay. We will capture them all and put them in pajamas. And that will make them happy because pajamas are comfy. And I believe that they are just uncomfortable, and that's why they are angry.
They're blowing people up. You think they just want to be happy? Really?
I just want to be happy. And I want
should be happy.
America
You have $1
to be
million.
happy. $1 million to buy pajamas with.
Yep. Okay.
Well, I'm planning on making the rich people pay more taxes and the poor people barely paying taxes at all.
What I personally think needs to be done is we need to raise taxes on everybody to a nice 75% tax rate.
That is way too much money. Think of all the people who will be arrested for not even paying the taxes.
Well, they should be, because our wonderful government needs as much money as possible.
So what if it was you?
Well, I think it's an honor to give up at least 75% of my income.
But what if you never had the money?
Well,
You're just
then
gonna be
that's my fault.
arrested.
I'm lazy if I don't have the money. That's why.
But you'll just be arrested mostly.
Even if you have like $1, you got to give 75 cents to the government, because they're a very beautiful thing that needs to be worshipped.
I'm going to decrease the American tax rate by taking the tax rate and taking a big pair of scissors and just cutting it in half. And that other half, I'm just going to throw all the way over to China. And then they're going to have to deal with it.
I will cut taxes by lowering taxes on pajamas. because
Wrong.
That is the only necessity that we Americans need.
Wrong. What about food? What about water? What about correctly built Samsung Galaxy Note 7s? And giant ice cubes.
Global warming and climate change will not be a problem, because if it gets colder, we will wear fleece pajamas. And if it gets warmer, we will wear shorts to bed.
We're going to take some really big ice cubes. We're going to put them on every continent.
But
Sure.
then they will melt and cause floods, and then all of our fleece will be drenched.
We already have a drought. This will help.
Where are we going to get the water for the ice cubes?
The answer is very simple. The greatest country in the world besides the United States. The one, the only, China.
Team Iron Man all the way. Because I believe his suit would be comfortable inside.
You think they're pajamas inside?
Yes.
You think that's a setting?
Yes.
Just like, oh, pajama setting, boop. Yeah. What happens if you press the wrong button and you explode?
The suit is not capable of that.
How do you know?
Because they're superheroes.
She's a liar. A liar.
Superhero pajamas. How
A
about
liar. A liar. You gotta go with Team Captain America. He's literally the symbol of our nation, okay? Our great nation of the United States. Iron Man, his suit was probably built in the second greatest country, China, like everything else in the world. And you know what happens in China? The things they make are sometimes very cheap. And you know what happens with very cheap things? They break or explode. Samsung Galaxy Note 7. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Thank you
China.
from the audience.
Excuse me.
Captain America was apparently a Nazi.
China has a lot of big problems. They're building all those Samsung Galaxy Note 7s, and they just explode. What if Captain America's Iron Man suit, what if it was built off the same guy who made the Samsung Galaxy Note 7, and he's like, hey, we're gonna put this button that makes it light up, and boom, he blows up, and he dies. And then the remains fall, and they hit an innocent child. Then you are to blame. Next question, please. I think the answer is quite simple. I would have to go with the Michelin Man. He is very inspirational and strong, like our country and unlike China. Let me guess, you're gonna go with something out of Pajanimals or whatever.
How did he know? Who told him? Which one of you told him out there?
Your campaign manager is a double agent. It's time you knew the truth.
The Declaration of Pajamas.
The rules.
I have a response. The woman I have a crush on is the person standing right next to me. Hillary Clinton, will you take me to be your awfully wedded husband? Hey!
Get out of here! Oh no! Please, you know you're stopping the marriage.
Blonde little boys!
I'm a ginger. How dare you?
Get out of here! Get out of here!
Came to the wrong patch, you stupid children. You came to the wrong patch. It's probably illegal for me to be around children, but I'm here anyways. And Chris cut this song. My wife, she's a man.
Hilarious, simply hilarious. Now, as much as we all love getting our homework and assignments done in a quick and efficient manner, sometimes what's on TV is just too good to ignore. From the CW to Netflix to ESPN, there's a lot of quality programming out there. Here's What Are You Watching When You Should Be Doing Your Homework?
So, we've been recently watching The Flash. I more than you.
Mm-hmm.
What episode are you on?
I am on episode 1 of season 3, but I've watched all of the previous seasons, so.
Well, I mean, yeah, you got most of it.
Yeah.
If you don't know what The Flash is, it's the CW, the network, is doing their own adaptation of like all the DC Comics characters, or at least most of them at the moment. And they start off with Arrow, and then now the Flash is like the first of the many spin-offs that they now have. Flash is basically, he's the main character, Barry. His mother was killed in like a freak accident, and yeah. And he goes to live with his like foster father, Joe, and basically when he gets older, he becomes like CSI, and he ends up getting struck by lightning, and he gets struck by lightning the same night that this like big reactor goes off, and anyone that gets hit with like the rays from this reactor basically get abilities and like superpowers. So he gets the power to run faster than like anything else on Earth. But it's a really good show, and you should go check it out. The first 2 seasons are on Netflix, and it's on Tuesday nights from 8 to 9 on the CW.
Okay, so yeah, I love The Office. It's a pretty good show. Basically, the show is about an office in a paper company in Scranton, Pennsylvania that the company itself isn't doing so well, but believe it or not, the office branch itself is doing really well. It ends up being the only one that survives when the company closes. You have just this whole room full of different characters that are all, you know, they have their own different personalities that they're all funny in their own ways. It just kind of works with all the other characters in the office, which creates a very interesting environment. You can watch it on Netflix. There's about, I think, 7 seasons. So you'll be watching it for a long time, and I end up laughing every time. So yeah, it's a pretty great show.
When a friend of mine first recommended I watch Stranger Things, I was reluctant. I didn't really feel like it at the time, but I'm very glad that I did because it's one of my favorite shows to date, It's amazing in every way. I feel like the less you know about it when you first go into it, the more intriguing it is. I'm going to try to keep plot details to a minimum. But basically, it's about this kid that goes missing. His friends and family go out and try to find out what happened to him, and it ends up being something a lot scarier than they actually expected. The one thing I didn't like about the show is, though, it tries to have this sense of nostalgia about it, and it's very good at that, but it falls short in the fact that it has CGI. I think that it would have really replicated the feel it was going for, like, you know, films from the 80s, if it used practical effects. But besides that, it's very well made, very well written. The cast is just great, and I really recommend it.
How I started watching Wilfred was I was scrolling through Netflix one day, and I saw a picture of a guy dressed in a dog's outfit. Now that was pretty crazy, so I decided to watch it. And Wilfred is a great show with a quite absurd premise, which is this guy who's not really doing so well, and he's a very sad guy, and he has a giant crush on his neighbor who has this dog. And so he sees the dog as a guy wearing a dog outfit who speaks English, and nobody else sees the dog like this. So he is able to have conversations with this dog, and nobody else knows what he's talking about or is able to do that either. So it sets up for some pretty comedic scenes and a very wide variety of different episodes. It's really funny because the dog does stuff that a dog would do, but it's a human. Like in one episode, one of my favorite scenes is the main character, Ryan, walks out of the house and he sees all these holes in his yard, and he's like, "What's going on?" And the guy's like, "I got nervous, so I dug a bunch of holes," which I thought was the funniest thing in the world. So it's a very comical show, and it's not for everyone because it is very sad and it's very depressing, and it's one of those things where the main character is in all these horrible situations all the time. They just don't stop. He just keeps getting pounded by these horrible situations, and it's fun to laugh at him, although sometimes you feel like a bad person while you're laughing at him. But it's a very enjoyable show, and I enjoyed my time watching it, and I would not have exchanged that time for anything else.
Supernatural is a show about two brothers who are monster hunters, and it's pretty cool because there's actually some pretty cool special effects in the show, and it's really like, it looks real almost, as real as monsters could get, you know? But it starts off with them not knowing where their father is because he just went out on a hunting trip, and they go looking across the United States for their father, because they're trying to hunt down a demon that killed their mother when one of the brothers was just a baby. Now, the two actors, who are Sam Winchester and Dean Winchester and Sam Winchester, are Jensen Ackles and Jared Padalecki. And the show has gotten up to 11 seasons now. Binge them all in a week, and that's when you know that your life is good. So there's a lot of funny jokes in it, that like serious moments that make funny jokes. And then the characters can be very relatable because they do make mistakes, and they usually find a way to fix those mistakes. Of course, they're not mistakes that a normal person would be making, because this is stuff like demons and like ghosts and stuff. Spooky. And it's on, new seasons are being updated on Netflix, and I don't know where else you can watch it, but there's a lot of different places like that you can look up and find it online. I highly recommend. Very good show. Well, it sounds like a lot of DVRs and Netflix queues are getting overstuffed out there. Up next, we have a compilation of many small bits and sketches from Speak of the Devil's own Nick Conley and Ethan Russo. Here for your viewing pleasure, here's the Mindless Mini-Skit Movie.
Fun. How you doing? Hello there, I am your local door inspector, and today I'm going to be inspecting your doors to see if they are authentic. So let's check our first door. Now I can tell you one thing. That is not authentic according to my standards.
Hi, Dan. Hi, Ethan. Do you want to record some stuff today? Sure. What should we record? I don't know. Who with? Maybe Nick's around. Oh, hey, Nick.
Yeah?
Want to record some stuff?
Sure.
Where's Flynn?
I ate him.
Want some tea?
Now there's chip on the bottom of this. Oh, sorry, you guys want that?
Hey, can I have a turn with that ball?
No.
Hey, please?
No.
Come on, I want to turn with that ball.
No.
Come on, give me the ball.
No.
Give me the ball. Give me the ball.
No.
Give me the ball. No. Give me that ball. No.
Oh boy, a ball! He's got the ball!
Let's get him.
What? What are you still doing here? The movie's over. Get out of here. Go. Oh, you're probably expecting us to announce, like, a second movie, right? Well, this is like a one-time thing. Go. Get out of here. By the way, well, we're probably going to need more actors for the second one, so just keep that in mind. But, all right, just keep going. Get out. Go.
Now we're just about done for this episode, but we'll be back in December with plenty of holiday cheer. But for now, let's close with a performance from the BHS chorus. This has been Speak of the Devils. I'm Maddie Shipka, saying as Thanksgiving draws nearer, watch out for those turkeys. They might be delicious, but they're also dangerous.